My child, today, on the 6th of January, I am not speaking casually. I am reaching for you on purpose. I am asking you for just 2 minutes of your time, and it must be right now. Not later, not after one more scroll. Not after you finish whatever you're doing. Right now, because this moment was not placed in your path randomly, and what I am about to speak cannot wait for another hour, another sign, or another day. Do not turn away from this. Do not treat this like background noise. Do not tell yourself, I'll come back later. Later is not guaranteed. This moment is. You may already feel the urge to move on. Your fingers may want to scroll. Your mind may try to distract you. That is not coincidence. That is resistance. And resistance only appears when something important is being released. So I am asking you, stay here. Stay until the end. Do not skip a single word. Because something significant, something life-altering, something you have been quietly asking for, is waiting for you inside this moment. This is not just another day. This is not just another message. This is not another motivational voice speaking into the noise of your life. This is an interruption, a divine pause placed directly in your path. And if you are hearing these words right now, it means your path is already beginning to shift, even if nothing around you looks different yet. My beloved child, I have seen every step of your journey, not only the parts you show people, not only the victories you speak about, but the silent moments, the ones you never explain. I saw you when you were holding yourself together by a thread. I saw you when you stayed strong outwardly while breaking inwardly. I saw you when you told yourself, just get through today. And now, at this exact moment, on the 6th of January, a message has been released with your name written on it. It could not wait for tomorrow. It could not wait for a better mood or a calmer season. It had to reach you now. The moment you opened this, something shifted, quietly but powerfully, not in your imagination, not symbolically, in the unseen realm. It is the kind of shift that doesn't announce itself with noise, but everything around you begins to respond to it. Even the air around you recognizes what is happening. Can you feel it? That subtle stillness, that strange pause in your thoughts, that sense that something is about to move. This is not excitement. This is alignment, because a change is coming that will rewrite the next chapter of your life, and it will do so in ways you never planned, never predicted, and never thought possible from where you stand right now. Listen closely. I am not speaking to your ears. I am whispering directly to the place in you that has been carrying too much without complaint. I need these 2 minutes of your undivided attention, because this world is filled with distractions, endless noise designed to pull you away from the very blessings I am preparing. Every distraction you feel right now, every urge to leave, every moment your focus slips is actually proof that you are standing close to something big. The enemy does not fight what is insignificant, so stay still. Do not rush. Do not skim. Do not jump ahead, because a revelation is about to settle into your spirit, and once it does, the way you see your future will never be the same. You were never meant to miss this moment. You are not here by accident. You are one of the ones I have been watching closely, and I know the weight you've been carrying. Not the obvious kind, the invisible kind. The kind that sits on your shoulders even when no one else notices. The kind that makes you tired in ways sleep cannot fix. The kind that comes from fighting battles in silence. I know about those battles. I know about the nights you lay awake wondering if anyone truly understands what you're going through. I know about the questions you stopped asking out loud because you didn't want to sound weak or ungrateful. And today, I am stepping into the middle of your story. The reason you are hearing these words right now is not coincidence. It is timing, divine timing. The situation that has been draining your energy, the one that keeps repeating, has reached its limit. The people who have been testing your patience, stretching your kindness, and exhausting your spirit, they have reached their boundary, and I am placing my hand on the storm that has been surrounding you. I am telling it, enough. So do not move from this spot. Something is aligning quietly, deliberately in your favor. I have watched how you kept going even when you felt empty. You didn't announce it. You didn't demand recognition. You didn't collapse publicly. You just kept showing up. I saw every silent tear you wiped away when you thought no one was looking. I heard every prayer you whispered in the dark, not the dramatic ones, but the exhausted ones. The prayers that sounded more like, "Please, I just need something to change." And today, I am answering you. Today, I am speaking over your life, and when I speak, paths shift. Stay until the end of this message, because the moment you finish listening, a door that has been locked for months, maybe longer, is going to begin to open. Not slowly, not cautiously, but suddenly. I am preparing a turnaround so unexpected that it will leave the people around you confused because they did not see what was happening behind the scenes. Something you thought was gone forever is circling back. An opportunity you believed you missed. A connection you thought was over. Support you expected but never received. A miracle you quietly stopped hoping for because waiting hurt too much. Whatever it is, I am bringing it back. But this time, it returns stronger, cleaner, and better aligned with who you have become. I am warning you gently now. Do not walk away too soon. Do not delay your breakthrough by leaving before the instruction finishes. You are not far. You are seconds away from the very thing you've been asking for. As we move deeper into this 6th of January, I want you to know something clearly. You are loved, not conditionally, not distantly, deeply. And if you can feel this message settling into your spirit, if something inside you is quietly saying, "This is for me," then I want you to acknowledge it. Comment, I believe, not for attention, but for alignment. And stay connected here, because this is not a one-time moment. This is the beginning of a sequence. Your faith is the key. And your willingness to remain present is what allows the door to open. Stay with me, because the most important part has not been spoken yet. At this exact moment, I am watching how your heart is responding. I know you have been tired, not just physically, but in a way that reaches deep inside you. The kind of tiredness that comes from carrying responsibility for too long. The kind that builds when you keep showing up while quietly wondering if anyone truly sees how much effort it takes. I know there have been moments when you asked yourself if I still hear you. Moments when you wondered if your prayers were reaching anywhere at all. Moments when you thought, maybe I have been forgotten. But listen carefully now. Today, on this 6th of January, I am whispering something you need to hear clearly. I am closer than you think. Closer than your doubts. Closer than your fear. Closer than the silence you have been misinterpreting. You are not listening to this by chance. This moment was written long before you woke up today. Long before you reached for your phone, long before you thought about searching for answers. So please, do not move. Do not scroll away. Do not let your attention drift. Something is shifting in the atmosphere around you, and I need your full awareness. Before you do anything else today, take one slow breath and simply listen, because your life is preparing to turn in a way you did not anticipate. My chosen child, stay with me. I have seen how many times you broke down quietly while the world believed you were strong. I have seen how you kept trusting, even when everything around you felt unstable. I have seen how you continued walking, even when you did not know where the road was leading. And now, your patience has reached its moment of response. Something you believed was impossible has already begun moving in your direction. It may not be visible yet, but movement has started. Doors that stayed closed for months are beginning to loosen. Situations that refused to change are losing their grip. People who walked away when things became difficult are being replaced, not with temporary comfort, but with those who will truly value your presence, those who will respect your heart, those who will not disappear when life gets heavy. The burden you have been carrying in your chest, the heaviness that follows you even into quiet moments, I am lifting it gradually right now. But hear this clearly. Your next blessing does not require fear. It does not require constant effort. It does not require you to prove your worth. It requires belief, not loud belief, not perfect belief, just honest trust. Do not lose focus now. Something important is approaching. Your breakthrough is no longer far away. It is not delayed. It is arriving. Your destiny is not slowly forming somewhere in the distance. It is stepping into your life. The blessings you thought were postponed are being delivered, not symbolically, not eventually. Now, stay with me, because what comes next is the moment when everything you have been questioning begins to make sense. You have been walking through a season that felt confusing, heavy, and unfair. A season where effort did not seem to match results. A season where you questioned yourself more than usual. But I want you to understand something important. It was not punishment. It was preparation. Every delay you struggled with, every rejection that hurt more than you admitted, every unexpected turn that disrupted your plans, all of it was shaping you. You were not falling behind. You were being positioned. Positioned for a level of life that requires strength, depth, and awareness. Think about the weight you have been carrying, not just responsibilities, not just circumstances. A weight on your soul, a heaviness that made breathing feel difficult some days, a pressure that never fully left, even during rest. But today, on the 6th of January, I am telling you, this season is ending. I am unfastening what has been tied to you for too long. You have spent enough time walking with your head lowered, focused only on surviving the next step. Now I am asking you to lift your gaze. The horizon is changing. The shadows that followed you are losing their strength. A new clarity is beginning to rise. I saw how you hid your exhaustion, how you smiled when you wanted to be honest about your pain, how you said you were fine while your heart needed relief. I saw the nights when your mind would not rest, the questions that circled without answers, the moments you wondered how much longer you could endure. Those nights are not your future. The energy of this day is different, because peace is being introduced into places that have been tense for too long. You are no longer fighting just to survive. You are stepping into a space where growth becomes possible. This change is already happening, even if your physical eyes do not see it yet. The obstacles that blocked you are weakening. The resistance that felt immovable is breaking down. You are standing on steadier ground than you realize. And today, I am declaring rest for your spirit. You have been strong for a long time. You have fought quietly. You have carried responsibility without pause. Now I am refilling you with strength that does not come from effort, but from grace. I want you to understand the difference between being repaired and being restored. When something is repaired, the damage remains visible. But when I restore, I remove the evidence of what was broken, and that is what I am doing in you. I am restoring time you thought was lost. I am restoring joy that was taken by disappointment. I am restoring confidence that was worn down by repeated trials. You are not becoming a fixed version of who you were. You are becoming someone new, stronger, clearer, lighter. If you feel this beginning inside you, quietly acknowledge it. This is the start of something lasting. Now listen to me carefully. What I am doing in your life is not temporary relief. It is deep correction. You have carried yourself like a warrior for so long that you forgot what rest feels like. Battle after battle, decision after decision, responsibility after responsibility. Even the strongest grow weary when they never lay their armor down. So today, I am not asking you to fight. I am asking you to receive, because I am refilling you with a strength that does not come from effort, discipline, or endurance. This strength comes from grace. And I need you to understand something clearly. There is a difference between being repaired and being restored. When something is repaired, the damage is still visible. The cracks remain. The memory of breaking stays, but when I restore something, I rebuild it as if the damage never happened. That is what I am doing with you. I am restoring the years you thought were wasted. I am restoring the joy that disappeared when people failed you. I am restoring the confidence that slowly faded after disappointment, rejection, and delay. You are not returning to who you used to be. You are becoming someone you have never been before. Someone steadier, someone calmer, someone grounded. A version of you that no longer collapses under pressure. If you feel this restoration beginning in your heart, pause for a moment and recognize it. This is not imagination, this is transition. And stay connected here, because these moments of alignment are meant to guide you through what comes next. You are not meant to walk into this new season alone. The people who doubted you will not need explanations. The ones who underestimated your heart will not need arguments. The change in your life will speak for itself. I am repositioning you, from overlooked to noticed, from delayed to aligned, from waiting to advancing. Not because you demanded it, not because you forced it, but because your heart remained sincere, even when you were treated unfairly. I am a God of justice. And on this day, the balance is shifting in your favor. Every act of kindness you showed while hurting, every time you chose integrity instead of revenge, every moment you remained patient when it would have been easier to walk away, none of it was forgotten. Those seeds are now beginning to grow. I am also clearing space in your life. There are connections that drained you, habits that quietly weakened you, patterns that kept you small. I am removing them gently but firmly. At first, this may feel like loss. You may feel unfamiliar emptiness as certain things fade away. Do not be afraid. I am not taking anything from you that you need. I am removing what would have limited you in the next season. I am replacing toxic dynamics with healthy ones. Surface connections with meaningful support. Loneliness with belonging. You will no longer have to beg for understanding. You will no longer have to shrink to fit in. I am building a new table for you, a place where you are welcomed, valued, and respected. Your well-being matters to me, not just your physical body, but your nervous system, your thoughts, your inner world. That constant low-level anxiety you have been carrying, the quiet tension that never fully leaves, is being calmed. I am replacing fear-based reactions with grounded wisdom. You will notice yourself responding instead of panicking, pausing instead of rushing, choosing clarity instead of confusion. Your body will feel lighter, your mind clearer, your heart more open than it has been in a long time. This is not coincidence. This is the gift I am giving you as this season changes, a reset from the inside out. Take a moment and notice the stillness now. Change does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives as peace, the dreams you whispered in the dark, the desires you were afraid to speak out loud because they felt too large. I heard them. They were never too big. I am the creator of what feels impossible to you. Your dreams are safe with me. Even now, I am working behind the scenes, aligning people, rearranging timing, opening paths that did not exist before. You have spent a long time waiting, watching others move forward, while wondering when your turn would come. Your waiting season is ending. You are being invited into a new level of dignity and authority, not arrogance, not entitlement, but quiet confidence. You are allowed to walk forward without carrying guilt from your past. I have already released it. Your future is brighter than anything behind you. Stay in this flow of peace. Do not allow old worries to rush back in. You are protected. You are provided for. You are deeply cared for. This moment marks a clear separation. On one side, the struggle. On the other, progress. You have crossed. Every step from here on carries intention, and I will turn what once challenged you into what strengthens you. Now prepare your heart for increase. You have lived too long in survival mode, counting carefully, worrying constantly, wondering if there would ever be enough. That cycle is breaking. I am opening provision in ways you did not expect. Not small assistance, not temporary relief, sustaining abundance. I am working on hearts you have not met yet, arranging conversations you did not plan, creating opportunities that align naturally, new directions, unexpected advancement, ideas that finally gain momentum. You will no longer struggle to keep up. You will be positioned to give. The financial pressure you have been carrying is loosening. Be attentive. Unexpected news will come. Unexpected help will arrive. Unexpected solutions will surface. Dreams you pushed aside because they felt unrealistic are being revived. Do not limit what I can do based on what you currently see. Your resources are not my measure. I am shifting the economy of your life from lack to overflow. Now let us speak about your relationships. I have seen the pain of betrayal, the ache of being misunderstood, the silence that felt heavier than words. I am bringing healing into those spaces. Where reconciliation is meant to happen, I will soften hearts. Where release is needed, I will bring peace. New connections are entering your life. People who recognize your value, people who protect your peace, people who stand beside you instead of draining you. You will no longer walk alone. Your home is becoming a place of calm, not tension. Laughter, not heaviness. I am surrounding you with protection. You do not need to fear what is ahead. What was meant to harm you will not succeed. What was meant to delay you will elevate you. The areas where you once felt vulnerable will become places of strength. Your energy will return. Your clarity will sharpen. Your confidence will stabilize. You are entering a season of sudden movement. The call you waited for, the answer you needed. The shift you prayed for, not by chance but by timing. You remained steady when it would have been easier to quit. And now you are being rewarded openly for battles you fought privately. Now hear me carefully. What I am doing in your life is not fragile. It is protected. I am placing a covering over you that does not depend on circumstances, people, or luck. It is steady. It is intentional. It is lasting. You have spent too much time feeling exposed, like anything could go wrong at any moment, like you always had to stay alert, prepared for the next problem. That season is ending. I am surrounding you with protection that works quietly but powerfully. As you step out of your home and as you return, you are not walking alone. You are being guided, guarded, and watched over. You do not need to fear what is ahead. The plans that were formed against you will not succeed. The words spoken to weaken you will not take root. The situations meant to trip you will become stepping stones instead. This is not because you fought harder. It is because the timing has shifted. And now I want you to understand something important. You are not meant to walk forward, unsure of yourself anymore. There is an authority settling into you. Not loud authority, not controlling authority, but inner authority. The kind that does not need permission. The kind that does not second-guess every decision. The kind that moves calmly because it knows where it stands. For a long time, fear has influenced your choices. Not dramatic fear, but subtle fear. Fear of loss. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of making the wrong move. That influence is weakening. You will begin to notice that situations which once made your heart race no longer have the same power. Your reactions will slow. Your clarity will sharpen. You are learning how to stand without shaking. This is not pride. This is stability. I am also addressing the places where you felt most vulnerable, the areas you worried about late at night, the thoughts you revisited over and over, the quiet concerns you carried without sharing, whether it was your health, your family, your future, your reputation. I am strengthening those areas. Your body is being restored with renewed energy. Your mind is being steadied with clearer thought. Your emotions are being grounded with peace. You will begin waking up with less heaviness, less tension, more readiness for the day ahead. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer carrying everything alone. Your family is not overlooked. Your loved ones are not unguarded. Even when they are out of your sight, they are not out of my care. I am guiding what you cannot control. I am handling what you cannot reach. And your name, the concerns attached to it, the misunderstandings, the assumptions, they are being corrected. Your integrity will speak louder than explanations ever could. You do not need to defend yourself endlessly. Truth has a way of standing on its own. Now listen closely, because this is a turning point. You are entering a season where things begin to move suddenly, not chaotically, not destructively, but decisively. Conversations that were delayed will happen. Answers that were unclear will arrive. Resistance that felt constant will dissolve. You will look back and realize that what felt stuck was simply waiting for alignment. These shifts are not accidents. They are the result of your persistence meeting the right moment. You stayed steady when it would have been easier to give up. You chose integrity when no one was watching. You kept your heart open even when it hurt. And now movement begins. This day is not isolated. It is the beginning of a sequence. One change will lead to another. One opening will reveal the next. And as this unfolds, I want you to walk differently. Not as someone hoping for relief, but as someone expecting progress. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are not defined by what you went through. You are stepping into a clearer understanding of who you are. And with that understanding comes authority. From this point forward, be mindful of your words, because your words carry direction. When you speak fear, fear grows. When you speak defeat, defeat settles. But when you speak truth, the atmosphere shifts. Begin declaring life over your path, clarity over your decisions, stability over your future. You are allowed to expect good things. You are allowed to move forward without constant anxiety. The light is increasing, the shadows are losing ground, and you do not need to rush. This is unfolding exactly as it should. As this day continues, stay attentive. You will receive subtle guidance, a thought, a nudge, a reminder. It may feel small, but it will lead somewhere important. Pay attention to what stands out to you today. That is often where direction hides. You are closer than you think. The hardest part of this season is behind you, and what is ahead is steadier, clearer, and more aligned than what you have known before. Now feel this moment carefully. What you are stepping into is not random movement, it is direction. For a long time, your life felt like effort without motion. You kept trying, adjusting, hoping, yet it seemed like things stayed in the same place. That phase is ending. You are entering a season where movement begins to match effort, where progress no longer feels forced, where things start responding instead of resisting. This is destiny activating. Not all at once, not loudly, but steadily, clearly, undeniably. You may notice it first in small ways. A response you did not expect, a delay that suddenly clears, a situation that softens without explanation. These are not coincidences. They are signs that alignment has begun. Doors that were closed are not just unlocking. Some are opening because they no longer have a reason to stay shut. What once required struggle will begin to flow. I want you to understand something important here. You are not stepping into a new season because you finally figured everything out. You are stepping into it because you stayed sincere when you did not understand. You remained present. You remained willing. You remained open. That is what prepared you. Now momentum begins to build. One opportunity will connect to another. One decision will create clarity for the next. What once felt confusing will start to make sense in sequence. Do not rush this. Momentum does not require haste. It requires trust. There are paths opening that you could not see before, not because they did not exist, but because you were not meant to walk them earlier. Timing matters. You were being shaped before being placed. Now placement begins. You will notice that people start responding differently to you, not because you changed who you are, but because you are standing more fully in it. You will speak with more clarity. You will move with less hesitation. You will feel less need to explain yourself. This is confidence rooted in alignment, not ego. You are beginning to recognize your own worth without needing external confirmation. That awareness changes everything. Some of the doors opening now are internal. You are releasing old versions of yourself. The version that doubted too quickly. The version that apologized for taking up space. The version that stayed silent to keep peace. Those versions served their purpose. They protected you when you needed protection, but they are not needed where you are going. You are stepping into a chapter where your voice matters, where your presence is not accidental, where your decisions carry weight. And you will notice something else. The urgency that once lived inside you will begin to fade. You will no longer feel like you are always running out of time, always behind, always catching up. Instead, you will feel paced, grounded, present. That is the rhythm of alignment. Now let me prepare you for what comes next. With movement comes choice. As doors open, you will need discernment. Not every opportunity is meant to be taken. Not every invitation is meant to be accepted, but you will know. Your clarity is increasing. What once confused you will now feel obvious. What once tempted you will now feel unnecessary. Trust that. This is wisdom forming. You are being guided step by step, not overwhelmed all at once. And as momentum builds, remember this. You do not need to prove that you deserve what is coming. You do not need to justify your progress. You do not need permission to grow. You have already been prepared. Pay attention. In the coming days, you may receive unexpected communication, a message, an offer, a chance to revisit something you thought was finished. Do not dismiss it too quickly. What returns now does so with new purpose. This is not repetition. This is resolution. Some cycles return only to close properly. Others return to open wider. Either way, you are no longer stuck. You are moving forward with awareness. There is something else shifting now. Your relationship with waiting. Waiting no longer feels like punishment. It feels like anticipation. Because deep down, you know movement has started. Even when things appear quiet, they are not idle. The unseen work is active, and soon, what is forming quietly will become visible. Take this moment seriously, but not heavily. You are not meant to be tense during alignment. You are meant to be receptive. Breathe. Allow momentum to build naturally. You do not need to push the door open. It is already moving. Your responsibility now is simple. Stay attentive, stay grounded, stay honest with yourself. The rest is unfolding. Now let us talk about an area you have been carrying quietly. Your provision, your stability, your sense of security. For a long time, you have lived in a state of carefulness, counting, calculating, rechecking. Not because you lacked faith, but because you learned to survive without certainty. You worried about expenses before they arrived. You planned around limitations instead of possibilities. You asked yourself if things would ever ease. Hear me clearly now. That cycle is breaking. Not through sudden chaos, not through reckless gain, but through alignment. I am shifting the economy of your life. You are moving out of a season of just enough and into a season of steady provision. This does not mean instant excess. It means relief first, stability first, breathing room first. The pressure that has lived on your chest when you thought about money is beginning to loosen. You will notice it in small changes before big ones. Bills becoming manageable. Unexpected help arriving at the right time. Opportunities appearing that actually fit you. This is not luck. This is timing. I am working on hearts you have not met yet. People who will open doors without knowing your full story. Conversations that lead to opportunities you did not plan. Ideas that return to you with clarity instead of confusion. Some of you will receive insight about a new direction. Some will feel nudged toward a skill you overlooked. Some will be guided back to something you once dismissed too quickly. Pay attention to what keeps coming back to your mind gently. That is where provision often begins. You will no longer feel like you are always behind. The constant fear of falling short will begin to fade. You will start planning with more confidence and less anxiety, and I need you to understand this. Abundance does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives as consistency, as reliability, as knowing you are supported. That is what I am building first. The debts that weighed heavily on you are being addressed, not all at once, but steadily. Solutions will begin to appear. Paths you did not see will become clear. Help you did not expect will surface. Do not ignore small openings. They often lead to larger ones. And when progress begins, do not shrink back into old fear. You are not meant to live constantly preparing for loss. You are meant to live expecting provision. There are dreams you placed aside because they felt unrealistic, too expensive, too risky, too far away. I am breathing life back into those dreams, not in the same form, not with the same pressure, but with wisdom. You are not being asked to leap blindly. You are being guided step by step. I am not asking you to gamble. I am inviting you to trust. Your current resources do not limit what is possible. What you see now is not the full picture. Be mindful of this in the coming days. An idea may surface that feels practical, not dramatic. A connection may form that feels simple, not impressive. An offer may arrive that feels aligned, not overwhelming. These are signs of sustainable abundance. This is how provision settles into your life without disrupting your peace. You are moving into a position where you will not only meet your needs, but eventually support others. Not out of obligation, out of overflow, but first comes balance, then growth, then generosity. Allow this process. Do not rush it. Do not fear it. You are being guided responsibly. If your heart feels lighter as you hear this, recognize it. You are no longer trapped in scarcity thinking. You are learning how to receive without fear. This is an important shift, and it will affect every area of your life. Stay attentive, stay grounded, stay open. Provision is not chasing you. It is aligning with you. Now let us speak about your heart. Not the part you show to the world, but the part that remembers. The part that felt misunderstood. The part that learned to stay quiet to avoid more pain. I have seen the wounds you carry from relationships that did not end the way you hoped. Words that were never apologized for. Distance that formed without explanation. People you loved who could not meet you where you were. I saw the empty spaces they left behind, and I know how heavy that silence felt. So today, I am bringing healing into those places. Not forcing reconciliation where it would harm you. Not reopening doors that were meant to stay closed, but restoring peace. Where a relationship is meant to continue, I am softening hearts. Conversations will become possible again. Understanding will replace pride. Truth will replace assumptions. And where a relationship was meant to end, I am giving you something just as important. Release. Release without bitterness. Release without regret. Release without carrying the weight forward. You do not need to hold on to what drains you. I am also bringing new connections into your life. Not distractions, not temporary comfort, but people who see you clearly, people who respect your boundaries, people who listen without competing, people who value your presence, not just your usefulness. These connections will feel different, calmer, safer, more honest. You will not feel the need to perform. You will not feel anxious about being replaced. You will not feel exhausted after giving, because these relationships will pour back into you. You will no longer walk this path feeling unseen. I am placing you in environments where you are welcomed, not tolerated, where your voice is heard, not dismissed, where your growth is celebrated, not threatened. This includes your home. The atmosphere around you is shifting. The tension that once lived in your space is easing. The heaviness that followed you into rooms is lifting. Your home is becoming a place of rest again. Laughter will return. Conversation will feel lighter. Silence will feel peaceful instead of lonely. This is not accidental. Peace is being established intentionally. I am also placing protection around your relationships. Not control, not fear, wisdom. You will begin recognizing patterns earlier. You will sense when something is not aligned. You will trust your intuition instead of doubting it. This discernment will save you from repeating old cycles. You will no longer pour energy into places that cannot receive it, and you will not feel guilty for choosing yourself. There are people who walked away when life became difficult. You questioned yourself because of it. You wondered if you were too much or not enough. Let me be clear. Their leaving was not a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their capacity. And now they are being replaced. Not immediately, not dramatically, but intentionally, by people who are meant to walk with you into the next chapter. I want you to notice something else changing. Your emotional reactions are softening. You are not as triggered as before. You are not as reactive. You are not as defensive. That is healing. You are learning how to stay open without being exposed, strong without being guarded. This is emotional maturity forming. You are also being given the peace to let go of old conversations you replayed in your mind. The words you wish you said, the moments you wish went differently. Those memories are losing their hold. They are becoming lessons, not wounds, and that is freedom. I am surrounding you with care. You are not forgotten. You are not isolated. You are being placed exactly where you need to be for connection, growth, and stability. Do not rush this process. Trust the pace. The right people arrive when you are ready to receive them without fear. Stay open, stay honest, stay grounded. Love is not leaving your life. It is becoming healthier. Now I want to speak to who you are becoming, not who you were forced to be in order to survive, not the version of you shaped by disappointment, pressure, or loss, the real you. For a long time, your identity was influenced by what you went through. You adapted, you adjusted, you learned how to stay quiet, careful, and strong at the same time. That version of you was necessary once, but it is not who you are anymore. You are entering a season where you no longer see yourself through the lens of your past. The mistakes that once followed you in your thoughts are losing their authority. The regrets that tried to define you are fading. The labels others placed on you are no longer sticking. I have already released those chapters. You do not need to carry them forward. There is a shift happening in how you see yourself. Not sudden pride, not false confidence, but recognition. You are beginning to understand your value without needing validation. You are beginning to trust your judgment instead of questioning every decision. You are beginning to move without asking for permission to exist. This is an identity realignment. You are no longer operating from lack. You are no longer living as someone trying to earn worth. You are learning how to stand as someone who already has it. You may notice something subtle but powerful. You are less willing to tolerate disrespect, less willing to over-explain, less willing to stay where you feel diminished. This is not hardness. This is clarity. You are learning that peace does not require you to shrink. I want you to let go of something now. The habit of replaying your past, the moments you wish you could undo, the decisions you judged yourself for, the seasons you felt you wasted. Those moments shaped you, but they do not own you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not damaged. You are prepared. Every lesson you learned is now becoming wisdom. Every failure is becoming understanding. Every loss is becoming discernment. You are no longer defined by what went wrong. You are guided by what you learned. There is also a change happening in how others respond to you. Not because you demand respect, but because you carry yourself differently. Your presence is calmer. Your words are more grounded. Your energy is steadier. People can sense when someone has stopped fighting themselves, and that shift commands quiet respect. You are stepping into a mindset of dignity, not arrogance, not superiority, but self-respect. You no longer need to prove your strength by enduring pain. You no longer need to earn love by overgiving. You no longer need to stay silent to keep peace. You are allowed to take up space. This is also a release from comparison. The pressure to match someone else's timeline. The habit of measuring your progress against others. That weight is lifting. You are beginning to understand that your path was never meant to look like anyone else's. Your journey required depth. Your calling required preparation. Your growth requires patience. And now that preparation is showing. You are not returning to life as the same person. You are stepping forward with a new internal posture, more secure, more grounded, more aware. This is not a temporary confidence boost. This is identity settling into place. Take a moment and feel this. The quiet strength, the steadiness, the relief of no longer needing to fight who you are. This is what it feels like to come home to yourself. Now slow down and listen carefully. What you are entering now is not another phase you will outgrow. It is not a temporary high. It is not a short season of relief. This is a crossing. There are moments in life when something quietly but permanently changes. No announcement, no dramatic sign, just an inner knowing that you are no longer who you were. This is one of those moments. You have crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. Behind you is the season where everything felt like effort, the season where you questioned yourself constantly, the season where peace felt conditional. In front of you is something different. Stability, not because life will never challenge you again, but because you will no longer be shaken the same way. What is settling into you now is permanence, permanent calm, permanent grounding, permanent clarity. You are not just feeling better, you are becoming steadier. I want you to understand this clearly. The peace you are receiving now is not dependent on circumstances. It does not disappear when something goes wrong. It does not collapse under pressure. It is rooted. This is the kind of peace that remains, even when answers are still forming, even when timing is still unfolding, even when not everything is visible yet. You are no longer operating from survival. You are operating from trust. There was a time when your thoughts would spiral late at night, when memories would replay without permission, when worry would settle into your body before you even realized it. Those patterns are loosening, not because you forced them to stop, but because they no longer have authority over you. Your nervous system is learning safety again. Your mind is learning rest. Your heart is learning openness without fear. This is healing at a deep level. You may notice something surprising. The things that once triggered strong emotional reactions feel distant now, not because you became cold, but because you became secure. You are no longer pulled backward by what already ended. You are no longer defined by what hurt you. The past is losing its voice. This is also a moment of sealing. What has been placed in you now is not fragile. It is protected. The growth you have experienced cannot be undone. The clarity you have gained cannot be taken. The peace you are stepping into is not temporary. It is becoming part of who you are. You do not need to rush forward. There is no pressure to prove anything. You are allowed to move gently now, deliberately, with confidence that does not need to announce itself. This is maturity of the spirit. I want you to notice your breathing, slower, deeper. That is not accidental. Your body recognizes that it is safe to rest. You are no longer bracing for impact. You are no longer waiting for the next problem. You are present. This moment marks a clear separation. What drained you no longer has access. What confused you no longer controls direction. What hurts you no longer defines identity. You have stepped out of reaction and into intention. From here forward, your life will begin to feel more coherent. Things will start making sense in hindsight. Timing will feel less cruel and more precise. Even challenges will feel different because you are different. This is not the end of your story, but it is the end of a chapter that required endurance beyond explanation. Stay here for a moment. Let this settle. You are not losing anything valuable. You are releasing what was heavy. And in its place, you are receiving something stable. Peace that stays. Now stay with me for these final moments. Not because something dramatic needs to happen, but because what is being completed now is important. This is not an ending that rushes you forward. This is an ending that allows you to arrive. I want you to look back for just a moment, not with regret, not with sadness, with awareness. The version of you who began this journey is not the same version standing here now. You have been refined, not gently, not easily, but intentionally. The pressure you endured did not destroy you, it shaped you. The weight you carried did not crush you, it strengthened you. And even though there were moments when the heat felt unbearable, you did not disappear inside it. You emerged, more aware, more grounded. What once triggered fear now feels distant. What once held power over your emotions is losing influence. What once made you feel small no longer defines your posture. You have outgrown an old life, and today, quietly, without force, you are being fitted for a new one. This transition is not about temporary happiness. It is about lasting peace. I am not offering you a short escape from difficulty. I am establishing a foundation that cannot be shaken again. What is being built in you now is stable. The breakthrough you are experiencing is not passing through. It is settling in. The clarity you feel is not momentary. It is becoming part of how you live. You can finally release the breath you have been holding. You do not need to stay tense anymore. You do not need to stay guarded. You are safe. Your future is not fragile. It is supported. The memories that used to surface late at night, pulling you backward, are fading. Not because you erased them, but because they no longer hurt the same way. They have lost their weight. In their place, new images are forming. Possibility, peace, direction. Instead of waking up with heaviness, you will begin waking with quiet expectation. Not anxiety, not pressure, just a sense that you are moving forward with clarity. This is what freedom feels like. Not chaos, not constant excitement, but space. You are no longer imprisoned by your past. You are no longer ruled by your fears. You are moving as someone guided, not driven. The doors that stayed closed for so long are not just opening. Some are being removed completely, so that you never have to stand outside them again. And as you move forward, you will notice something. You trust yourself more. You question yourself less. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. If you can feel this settling inside you, take a quiet moment to acknowledge it. You are not claiming something new. You are accepting what has already been prepared. This is the final seal. Peace that remains, confidence that does not need permission, direction that does not confuse. Stay connected to this stillness as you move into what comes next. Not every instruction will be loud, not every step will be obvious, but you will know. Your inner guidance is clearer now. Carry this awareness with you today. You are not the same person who began this message. Something has shifted that cannot be undone. You have been guided, you have been strengthened, you have been prepared, and what is ahead of you is not uncertain. It is aligned. The best is not rushing toward you. It is already meeting you. Quietly, steadily, surely, and it is here to stay.